Sometimes, sometimes handhelds surprise me. And this one that just came in, this RX6H, RX for prescription for success, perhaps, I don't know. But the RX6H has surprised me. One of the reasons is the price that I got this for. Now, I don't know if it's going to still be able to get for this price, but I got this for under $30. Under $30. And while this is just the same old boring 3326 that we've seen before, and performance is not anything different than you'd expect, it's a comfortable to hold, nicely made and designed handheld at a dirt cheap price. Is this the beginning of the new year of e-waste? Remember to hit that like button and subscribe so you never miss an episode of our great content. But let's unbox, dive in, and take a look at this new handheld. Welcome to Dead Fred After Dark. Do you like scary stories? Do you like UFO mysteries? Do you want to talk about what you saw outside? Have you seen Bigfoot? No, wait, that's not me. I'm a retro gamer. Hey, Deadheads. Welcome back to the channel. Or welcome to the channel for the first time, new Deadheads. Today, we're going to talk about the RX6H. All right, let's dive in. So, as always, let's start with our unboxing. The box is fairly attractive, and as you know, I've said in the past, a box matters. If they try to make it look attractive, then it shows a sign that the company cared. And this one has a nice little look to it. We also have some information here on the side of the box indicating the colorways. Now, it does come in three colors, transparent purple, transparent black, and then the white. Now, the white is the one that I like the most. I just thought it looked the best, and I'm kind of glad I got it because it looks really good in person. So once we hop inside the box and we start to unbox it and look inside, we see that it has the typical items inside. We got the console, of course, and then it has a USB-C cord, as always. Now, this is the typical USB-C cord for the Rockchip 3326 handhelds. Nothing fancy here. We also have a little screen protector, not a great one, and then we have the manual. Now, as always, the manual is nothing super exciting, just a basic manual, but we'll take a look at it and just see what's in there. So the interesting thing here is if you notice on the manual, it references the RGB20s. So I don't know if essentially that's what this is on the inside. I mean, it is a 3326 after all. So we just recently took a look again at the RGB20s, and it's a capable system. So if essentially this is just a new shell for that, that's probably why this isn't too bad. Now, once we start to pull this out and get some first hands-on time on it, my first initial thoughts were just how comfortable holding this was. Now, recently, Powkiddy has released their X35H, and this handset looks a lot like that. So as we look at some footage here between the two handsets, you can see that they're pretty similar in their shape and design. I think this is a nice design. We've seen this in some other handhelds that are coming out, some that we've reviewed, and I think it's a very good design for a 3.5 to 4 inch size handheld. So I hope to see more products having this shape and size. In testing the buttons, I found the buttons to have really nice travel distance. I really, really like these buttons, which is very surprising. Now, they don't rise too far out of the shell, but they have a nice look to them, a nice texture. Now, they're not as nice as the other surprise we had this year when we had our Battle XP, the G350. Now, that buttons are superior, but these are nice buttons, guys. I really like these buttons. They don't seem to be connected. Now, I have not opened this thing up, but it doesn't look like it's interacting with the other buttons, so it's very favorable. Moving on to the D-pad, I was very excited because this has one of my favorite styles of D-pads that exists, the Sega style. Now, let me say this. This D-pad is loud. It's loud and clacky. Hopefully you can hear that. It's very loud and clacky. It sits kind of flush to it, and it doesn't pivot real great. So unfortunately, the D-pad is a little bit of a weak point for this. I still like it. I think it works okay, but it's loud, clacky, and it doesn't pivot great. So if I was going to give a big concern about this thing so far, it's the D-pad. Hey Deadhead, sorry to interrupt the video, but I wanted to take a moment to talk about our sponsor today, AliExpress. Our friends at AliExpress recently sent us this Trimui brick charging dock. But wait, it gets even better. This charging dock also has a grip which fits into the charging dock as well. This makes it very versatile. It's magnetic, which means you can simply push and pull the dock apart to have the grip. So for very quick charging sessions, you can walk around and play with it or stick it back on the dock. It is so great. It also has color matching and it's made of good quality material. Hit the link in the description if you'd like to pick one of these things up for yourself. It is a must-have, I think, for anybody that wants to keep their magnetic charging dock with their Trimui Brick Smart Pro in check. Anyways, back to the video. Now also we have the sticks in that configuration which is meant for a much higher level of emulation. This isn't going to do anything more than what the 3326 already does. So sticks on bottom would have been preferable, but you know, they put them up top. Now they're your basic, you know, switch style sticks. Now the X35H has better analog sticks, so again it wins there. If we're going to compare these two, because they're the most similar, the X35H also has a better processor in it overall. But again, I got this at $27. I don't know if you'll be able to, but maybe with coupons and sales and coins, you'll get it at this price at some point. Again, this is amazing because the X35H is starting at, you know, $55, $60, so not in the same ballpark. And looking at these shoulder buttons, now it's really interesting because these shoulder buttons are really nice. We do have stacked shoulder buttons, which I do kind of prefer, even though it takes away from some of the pocketability. However, it doesn't stick out any more than the bottom hump grip part. So if you're gonna have the grip part anyways, why not have the stacked shoulder buttons? And they feel good, guys. They feel really good. They're not overly loud. They just feel really good holding them. They're nice triggers, so they did a real good job with that. The back of it has a nice texture, and then we have the speakers coming out of the back. Now, back-firing speakers are not always the greatest. We like front-firing, but you know, or down-firing, but back. As far as back-firing speakers go, it's not bad. I haven't opened it up. I don't think it's stereo. I think it's a single speaker, but it does have two holes, so it may be double speaker. Now, the hardware of this thing is, again, no Wi-Fi, no rumble, no Bluetooth. So it's just got the very basic things that you expect. No HDMI out, just the basic things you expect to get from a 3326. But again, I think the thing here is the fact that this thing feels very comfortable. Now, my other criticism is this thing only has one SD card slot. So it has a single SD card slot. And again, that's kind of a weakness. I like when they have the dual ones. This thing is running EmuElec, okay? So as we first boot this up and start to look at this, it is running EmuElec. However, the smart folks over at the K36 forum and ALSX, sorry if I said your name wrong, have figured out how to get ArkOS running on this. So we do have ArkOS running on this. It's not perfect. There's still some issues that have to be ironed out, but at least it's booting. So ArkOS is running up on this. So think of this as kind of like the K36 in the horizontal form factor or the RGB20s. But again, there should be more custom firmware, hopefully, if this thing gets picked up and people start using it, and I think they'll like it. Now, let's talk about this overall, the gameplay. No surprises here. You're going to get really good emulation up to PlayStation 1, okay? Once you start moving into N64 and Dreamcast and PlayStation Portable, you're going to get hit and miss. It's going to be hit or miss. This thing only has a gig of RAM, so it's not going to have anything sufficient for that. You're not really, now a dongle on this, I wasn't able to get a dongle to work on this for Wi-Fi, but I think others have, so you can probably add Wi-Fi to this, so that's another good thing. Of course, it's an extra expense. But the gameplay was fun. I enjoyed it. The stock software is, it's not awful. I'm getting used to Emulec. I just think there's better software out there for it. So let's just summarize this review as we take a look at some footage, some more gameplay footage. This is a decent build. It feels good in the hands. It's got great triggers, great buttons. It's got a questionable D-pad, okay, unfortunately. It's got one SD card slot. It's very basic, no bells and whistles. We don't have Wi-Fi, we don't have Rumble or anything like that. It's just at under $30, this is a buy. I recommend this. At under $30, I'm very happy with this. I hope that this thing gets to be pushed. This is not as exciting as the Battle XP. That is a much more exciting handheld. Of course, that's not at $30. That's at $45 to $50. But this is a really impressive handheld for the ultra budget line. Not perfect, has some issues. The sound is pretty basic, not fancy, and it doesn't have any kind of menu button. It does have a reset button, and I do like that they put the little light at the bottom. Let's see if I can capture that on screen. So your little light to indicate what's going on is at the very bottom. So that's good for like not blasting you in the face if you're playing this in the dark. The IPS screen is decent. It's a good IPS screen, like what we've seen before. Overall, I like it, guys. Sometimes I like these things, even though this is e-waste. It's e-waste. E-waste. So, let me know what you think in the comments. Is this something you're going to pick up? It's got a nice design to it. The language on it, the design language is nice. It's comfortable. So, anyways, that's been our review of this. Let us know what you think, our unboxing and review. Love the comments. Keep them coming. We're quickly approaching 2,000 deadheads. Oh my God, 2,000 deadheads. So guys, remember to hit that like button and subscribe so we can keep growing. Really appreciate all you guys have done. I'm looking forward to the rest of this year. A lot of exciting things coming up. And that's been this review. Anyways, remember to hug your loved ones and love your hugged ones because tomorrow is never promised. And we'll see you next time.